Good morning. This is Daniel Okinawa again with another blogcast. I'd like to play a flute song to start the day off. The flute music always builds up my spirit, and what I would like to do today is to do a story of creation. Native Americans have many stories about creation that are in each of the tribes, and so I have one that is my favorite, that is mine personally, and I'd like to share it with you. And I'm going to read it to you this morning, and it's called The Source of Life and Death. There are many stories of creation in the native world. This is my favorite personal story. Grandfather Creator made the earth beautiful and lush, full of animals, birds, fish, trees, plants, roots, and herbs. In the center, he planted a life tree to honor his son, who was called the Great High Chief of the Lion Tribe. This tree yielded 12 wonderful fruits, including love, peace, joy, high wisdom from above, healing, and life, to just mention a few. But there was also a trickster who refused Creator's love, and he planted a tree. And the tree was called the tree of mixture, of light and darkness, good and evil, self-centeredness. One day, Creator took some red clay from Mother Earth and formed man, and through a creative miracle, brought him to life with Creator's intimate, loving breath of the Great Spirit. He also created woman. Grandfather Creator warned them not to be tricked into eating from the tree of mixture, but curiosity got the best of them. Before this happened, when they feasted on the tree of life, they actually could walk and talk with Creator because they were covered with a garment of light, and they could see and talk with other spirit beings and sky people. After being tricked into having power to be like the Creator, they lost their clothing of light and chose close intimacy with Grandfather, until his son one day gave up his life to restore them back to the life tree and Grandfather's love. However, after being tricked, they gave birth to two sons. One walked the good red road of life, and the other was named To Acquire, and was filled with darkness and jealousy, and wanted power over the good brother. One day he murdered him, and began to produce a generation of murderers and warmongers who were set on controlling others. This mindset flowed from the trickster and the mixture tree. To add to this, the trickster persuaded some of the sky people to follow him, and they left their assigned positions and came down to earth and had their way with beautiful women. These gave birth to a generation of mighty giants on the earth who became men of violence and war. After a flood to cleanse the land, this evil reappeared and continued to be a curse on the land. The people who lived the acquire lifestyle became city builders and controlled people through warfare and domination. This movement also began to try to connect with the life force in the universe through human sacrifice and abuse. They became who we know today as the snake people. The offspring of the sky people, who were giants, built huge mounds and monuments to honor this life force which flowed from the mixture tree. They tried to regain their former positions of power. However, those who followed the good red road flowing from the life tree became known as turtle people. An example of these are the Lenni Lenape people who settled Turtle Island. Many other tribes were also known as turtle people, such as the Mohegan and Oneida clans. Throughout history, there's always been a conflict between the worldview and values of the turtle and snake peoples. I believe when the Western settlers in the Catholic Church came to Turtle Island, their goal was to dominate through manifest destiny, representing the values of the snake people. Their goal was to acquire wealth, rape the resources, build large cities, and to dominate and control the turtle people by military might. This is the story of the root of life and death, and of good and evil from the beginning of creation. We should learn from this to keep walking the good red road and to keep feeding from the life tree, who some call the tree of peace, so we can walk close to Grandfather Creator's love, and so we can have full access to the spirit world in our medicine wheel dance circles and in our sweat lodge worship. Aho! This is my favorite story of creation and the source of life and death. And this goes along with this series I did on irreconcilable differences. I would like to finish by doing a song that the Grandfather Creator gave me. I do the Sacred Eagle Dance, and so I'd like to do this song which I called the Eagle Song, which the Creator gave me. If I can get these flutes working right. Aho! Thank you for listening to this podcast about the story from creation. This is Daniel Okina.